Dr Marcos Bavdaz, Head of ESA Technology Preparation Section and Future Missions Office. You gave today here at the Tartu Space Technology Conference quite a thorough overview of ESA mandatory programs, especially ESA scientific programs. These programs are very large programs. These are programs for Europe. These are programs for entire mankind. Space exploration programs, deep space science programs. Based on your experience, what a new member state can do with joining this ESA science program?
Well, let me start by saying that the European Space Agency was actually created as an European agency to be able to contribute to the development and study of space with space missions jointly, because the study of the universe and the study of the planetary system we are living in, also the study of the Earth we are living on, requires quite complex and expensive missions, which turned out to be too expensive for individual countries in Europe to be undertaken on the cutting edge that Europe had ambition to participate to. So as a requirement, as insurance that European states will jointly contribute to a science program, it was decided that the science program becomes a mandatory program to all the participating member states. It is actually the only mandatory program in terms of application area. Of course, we are now doing this for 30 years, so we are in fact producing missions which are cutting edge on a global scale. We are exploring the universe with the Herschel infrared telescope. We're measuring 1 billion stars with Gaia. We're visiting a comet right now with Rosetta. We will visit the Jovian system with JUICE, and we started the development of an X-ray telescope to follow the currently operating XMM Newton telescope. So there is a number of missions which are being developed, and we have proven that this is something that works if we are collaborating on a European scale. Coming in more detail to your question, it is so that of course this is already an established group of countries who are collaborating since a long time. And Estonia is, as I understand, interested to join ESA as a full member, and with that it would also have access to the science program, and correspondingly it would also contribute to the science program. It would have to find its niche in this club. It would have to think carefully what it wants to have out of this membership of ESA, and it should consider carefully what it can contribute to the ESA program.
The contributions to ESA science programs are also quite long-lasting, and usually, as I understood, it takes a number of years even for a potential implementation of a certain program. How to start with? Estonia has a serious science player within our landscape, within less than a 10, I would say, who would be able to contribute into science program potentially. So do you have any recommendations how we should start with of choosing those potential directions to participate in the science program?
Well, the important point is here to ensure that the right capabilities are brought into the play. There will be a number of interactions with the European Space Agency in preparation for any potential accession to ESA of Estonia, and in this process the capabilities of the country will be explored, because ESA would be very much interested to learn about the capabilities of the country. At the same time, the Estonian entities, industry, but also research institutions, etc., would have the opportunity to learn more about the ESA programs, what they offer, what they require, what they currently have, what they need potentially. And I think it would be then a joint undertaking to identify the areas most likely to lead to success. It is, in fact, a long-term endeavor. If Estonia decides to join, the science program is a continuous program, and we regularly have announcements of opportunity or call for missions, where in fact the missions are being selected. The selected missions are then studied for many years in order to identify how they could be implemented, which technologies are still needed, and what has to be done in order to enable those missions.
What should you recommend if an institution or a scientific group has an idea for
Well, certainly it is a very good idea to focus the interests and to utilize the opportunities offered within the country to convey the messages of what capabilities exist. I think also the focal points in Estonia, the contact points to ESA, should be informed about what the capabilities are, what the interests are, and it should be, I think, a very active information exchange phase to determine, what the expectations of Estonia are and what possibilities ESA could bring, and also what commitments it would bring at the same time.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Bavdaz, for visiting Estonia, for visiting this conference, and especially for a very thorough presentation and a very informative roundtable session here.
Well, thank you very much for the invitation. It was a pleasure to be in your country.